Okay, please confirm if all the mics are muted, Zoom Master.
Confirm, sir.
I can still hear some sound, so maybe those are your mics. Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the District 105 Contest Management Training, Day 1. This training is divided into 2 days. Today is all about contest administration, contest management, and it's helpful for anybody who's going to either manage a contest, be a contest chair, be a contestant, or take up any interest in as a sergeant at arms or any other role. So today we're going to work around that area. And tomorrow we are going to work on judges and chief judges only to deal with the special nuances, scenarios, and detailing of judging environment. So I hope we will you will join us for tomorrow's session as well. We have a lot of registrations for tomorrow. Few opening guidelines. I'm sure everybody is aware of the online meeting etiquettes now. We have been doing Zoom meetings for about a year, a little less than a year. I hope everybody has a good internet connection and you don't lose out on any conversations. Keep your microphones in off mode. Camera also can also save bandwidth. If you're facing a bandwidth problem, it will be helpful if you keep your camera off, but you're free to keep it on. We are happy to see your faces with interest. And minimize the distractions in the back of your screen. So children running around or spouses calling you for breakfast is something which is called a distraction here. And anybody who wants to have a tea, coffee, please switch off your camera and then do it, because the trainers might get tempted and they might leave the room also. The washrooms in your home, I'm sure you are aware where they are, and please go there only and don't try anywhere else. The program quality team, as you are all aware, is a team of some of those individuals who have chosen this year to serve the district in the area of program quality. And we have a fabulous team from UAE, from Oman, from Jordan, from Lebanon, and they get together and they create these phenomenally beautiful programs and events for all of us. And I'm very grateful that I'm humbly serving these leaders as their program quality director, and I work with them, fabulous supermen and women. And today, some of these supermen and women are going to be our facilitators. So we have three facilitators for today's session. We have Toastmaster Abdul Islam, Toastmaster Shiny Jacob, and Toastmaster Chitlur Prasad, DTM. All three of them will be doing the facilitations one by one. The session will be started by Toastmaster Abdul Islam, who is an engineer by profession and a Toastmaster by passion. He has attended many conferences and training programs, both in his profession and in Toastmasters. And he strongly believes that the skills that we learn in Toastmasters help us in our profession as well. They are a Toastmaster couple, Toastmaster Abidul Islam and his wife, DTM Shamima. They are also, both of them, very passionate about Toastmaster. I wonder if they give evaluations and feedbacks to each other or they don't try it at home. Our second facilitator is a HR professional. She is a UAE resident for her whole life, and she is a Toastmaster since 2016. Shiny Jacob was invited to a Toastmaster club by one of her friends by accident, and she was not aware of what Toastmasters is. She landed up in the meeting. After the meeting, the friend who invited left, and Shiny stayed back. And that's how she became an accidental Toastmaster. But she has really enjoyed Toastmaster over the last 4 years, and today she's a proud member of the program quality team. Our third facilitator today, who will come towards the end of the session and he will handle our question answers and FAQs, is DTM Chitlur Prasad, another senior HR professional from Oman. He works for Al Madina Insurance Company and is a Toastmaster since 2011, a very avid reader and a wonderful leader, as he was the division director last year And this year, he has taken up the role of the head of contest committee for District 105. So please help me in welcoming all of these facilitators who are going to take us on this journey of learning all about contests today. The agenda for the day is we are now going to start this contest training in about a couple of minutes from now. They will be run by Abidul Islam and Shiny Jacob, which will be followed by question and answers by the team Chatur Prasad, and then I will close the session later on. A few guidelines and suggestions. So we will take about a 5-minute bio break at 11 o'clock or little up and down as per the flow of the event. So the facilitators may help us to help do that. We will also have a question answer session, which will be moderated by one of our program quality team members, Ramaswamy, who you see on the screen here. So whatever questions you might have, please put them in the chat at the end. The chat will be disabled now and we will not be able to put questions now. Keep your questions ready and put them in the chat, and Ramaswamy will read them out for the question answering session, and the facilitators will try to answer your questions. If you are not able to answer any of your questions, you are welcome to reach out to us by email or WhatsApp after the session, and we'll definitely be there to help you out. So I am very excited about today's session. If you are, then please show me a thumbs up and we can start. All right, looks good to me. So please help me welcome our first facilitator for the day, Toastmaster Abidul Islam.
Good morning, District 105 contest enthusiasts. A wonderful Friday morning, bright and sunny here in Abu Dhabi, and I believe it's in wherever you are. And welcome to this very special session wherein we all will try to learn together. Learn something which we all see is, in a way, a perpetual challenge for many of us, organizing a contest or a speech contest in a Toastmasters club area or a division. Now, to begin with, let me try to share my screen. I hope I'm clearly audible. I can see myself, so I presume I'm visible enough. So, good. So let me share. I hope I have the rights in place. Yeah, is it good?
Can you use the slideshow mode? Yes, fine.
Okay, before I begin, let us understand what exactly is a contest. Well, a contest is like testing ourselves with our peers, kind of evaluating ourselves, what we have learned in a particular year, and of course, bringing out the best in us. And it goes without saying, rewarding the best performer. So that is contest, which we all look forward as Toastmasters, as an audience, or as a leader in a club or whatever level we are in. Contests, by the way, have normally lots riding on them. The hopes and aspirations of contestants who have been slogging it out for a year to prepare themselves to give their best, and the audience who wants to see a contest which works like clockwork without a glitch, perfectly synchronized. And of course, the never-ending anxiety of the club, area, or division leaders who wants to complete the most challenging task in the leadership tenure, the annual contest of whatever they are leading. So it is all but natural that we as Toastmasters pay due importance to the process we call, well, organizing and managing a contest. That's the key. We have seen a number of contests. To know what goes behind that beautifully choreographed process of the flow that we see on a stage is an amazing, complex work. And now in 2020, we have got an added layer of excitement because of the situation we are in. We are required to go online. So that makes it even more spicier. So this particular session, what we will try to do is to see how we do that in the best possible way. There are two basic aspects here. First one, the contest per se in Toastmasters International guidelines, how we are supposed to do a contest without thinking about the online part of it. Then we will slowly move into what are the additional or the things we need to do differently when we talk about an online scenario. Now, to begin with, as we dive into the contest process, the rules, the regulations, and the procedures, we have got clearly one binding requirement, which is the Toastmasters International Contest Rulebook. And then we have to talk about the online contest special requirements. Very recently, TMI has come up with the best practices for an online contest, which is amazingly well structured because it is very simple, very basic. At the same time, it literally answers most of the things we need to know. We as a district PQD team are also working on to give a bit of more detailed interpretation of these online requirements so that all the clubs or areas or divisions who will be working on this will get a much more detailed information about going further with the online requirement. Now, let's move on with the contest rulebook. Now, this is this 27-page book, which we can freely download by the way from the TMI website, is the binding non-negotiable document which governs all Toastmasters contests across the globe, from Tokyo to San Francisco, from Glasgow to Auckland. You have a Toastmasters International Speech Contest, this is the one which will govern it. Now, if we open the book, we'll see that this book is essentially structured into three basic parts. Everything that is mentioned here is primarily meant to ensure that all contests have got a structure in place wherever and whenever we are doing it. Now, these three elements are, the first block talks about the speech contest rules. The speech contest rules are a detailed, structured requirement for each speech contest. They consist of the speech contest policy itself, and then the eligibility for the contest rules. Now, when we talk about eligibility, it's actually pretty straightforward. A member need to be in good standing in a club. Again, the club needs to be in good standing. It is as simple as that. And of course, we have got some special requirements for an international speech contest that you need to be completing at least 6 projects, if at all we are doing the previous path, or with a new path phase, we need to have level 1 and level 2. So these are something we all know probably by now. But this is a simple eligibility criteria. And for the details, this is the place where we need to go to find out if you've got any doubt about it. Where do we find it? It's actually page 15 to page 5 to page 15 of that particular literature. So it is 10 pages almost out of just 27 pages. So it's pretty big chunk of information in that particular rule book. Similarly, selection sequence. I mean, how do we select the speaking order, and then speech subject and preparations. And we move on to the general procedure, like how the whole contest will roll out, timing of the speeches. All the 4 categories of speeches will have different timing rules. And of course, the exciting and not so exciting part of protests and disqualifications, and use of or the validity of using props and electronic devices. So these are the things we as contest organizers, as contest chairs, as contestants need to have a very clear idea so that we don't, have put our foot wrongly during a real contest, which can be extremely costly in terms of getting disqualified or having a contest going in the wrong direction. So again, the importance of going through the contest rule book cannot be overemphasized. It goes for all club leaders, all area leaders, and division leaders, and in fact, everyone who wants to be in a contest in whatever role he or she wants to be in. Now, the rule book actually talks about 6 varieties of contest. Of course, we all know the first 4: international speech contest, evaluation contest, humorous speech contest, table topic contest. Now, let me emphasize, these are the 4 contests the District 105 will be dealing with in right up to our DTEC level. So this particular program is focused towards these 4 only. However, the rule book does contain another 2 varieties of contests: tall tale contest and video speech contest, which are not exactly what something we'll be doing in the near future. But of course, everyone is free to do or deal with this contest as and when required. Now, one thing is for sure is that when we have got a series of activities to be done, the best way to ensure that every stakeholder knows, plans, and executes everything they need to do in perfect harmony without missing anything is to have checklists. Well, the rule book actually provides us an amazing range of checklists or kind of things we need to know when we get into a contest mode. Now, there will be a variety of people who will be involved in a contest. Someone we know as contest chair, the chief judges, the contestant themselves. Everyone needs to know, or rather I would say plan and do things on a particular timeline in the right way, in the right format. So checklists are very important. I will not go into details of the checklist because they are in the book, so it's no point repeating it. But again, we all need to know the checklist. We should not try to look the checklist at the time of the contest, because the checklists per se are actually a very structured document wherein they talk about before the contest, we need to do something. I mean, if you have a contest coming up next week, there's no point planning for it just about 2 days before that. We can't afford to do that. So there's a timeline for it. When we start preparing for a contest, what is the contest chair's role there? The chief judges, the contestants themselves, how do they prepare for it? The planning, by the way, is now slightly changed when we talk about the online situation, because the logistics have slightly changed. You don't have to book a flight to go to a particular destination anymore, but you have to do something else. So we'll come to it later on. So essentially the checklist, again, just to sum it up, we talk about checklist before the contest, preparation, briefing, and during the contest as well as after the contest, because we must know that there's a formal procedural way of concluding a contest. We can't just say goodbye at the end of the contest and leave the place, because especially certain roles like the chief judge, the contest chairs have got certain obligations as per the procedures to conclude the contest in the right possible way. Okay. The rulebook also provides us some invaluable materials, the formats or the structures we will have to use to run a contest in the right way. So what we need to know is where they are and what needs to be used for a particular contest. The first thing that we all need to know and we need to have, of course, is the eligibility certificates. They're again free downloadable stuff in the TMI website. We have got structured formats like telecounter sheets, timing record sheets, winner notifications, evaluation contestants notes, and judges. Now, if I go one by one, I mean, initially when I started, timing is timing. Someone may think that, okay, it's just noting down the time and then reporting to someone else. But when you look at these TMI formats, they have undergone a tremendous amount of evolution as a structure. And this actually makes the contest governance a very structured and formal thing if we actually comply with all the requirements that is required on these formats, be it eligibility certificate, the telecounter sheets, the timer records. They need specific things to be filled in a specific way, and it's all meant to make a contest governance very transparent, at the same time comprehensive information, so that on a later time, if something is challenged, we have got enough information in front of us to look back and see what actually has happened during the contest. Winner notification is something we all need to be really careful, because this is something many times people miss. At the end of the contest, there are certain documents needs to be submitted by the chief judge to the contest organizers. So I think this will be captured tomorrow as well when we do the judges training. Evaluation contestant notes are essentially those white sheets of paper we use as evaluation contestants to note down our notes. Now, this can be a normal plain A4 size paper, which is fine. But TMI does provide us a format for that. So we can pretty well use them. And of course, the most important, judges' ballots. Now, I think most of us have probably seen this one. It needs to be seen by the contestants themselves also, because it tells us how your speech is being judged. So it's very important to know how you're being judged in a contest. So that's, if I'm a contestant, I would love to know how I'm going to be scored. But again, for judges, again, for someone who has been judging for years, it is really good to have a ballot paper, not on the front page only, but the back side also, where you have got the judging criteria very well defined, very crisply defined, so that we know exactly how it is done. Again, I'll not elaborate here, because this is something probably we're going to in an extensive way tomorrow when we do the judges training. But I still remember dealing with a chief judge who makes sure that we actually read those criteria every time you go judging, even if I'm judging literally four times a week. But it helps. Honestly, it helps to be familiar with those things. So these documents are extremely useful, and we must make full use of them. Okay, on top of that, we have the document also provides us additional resources. So this is the third segment. Speech contest frequently asked questions. Now, we all love to ask questions in Toastmasters particularly. It goes without saying. And it's correct, because every time you land up in a contest, you will have scenarios which is probably not, apparently not in the rule book. What am I supposed to do in those situations? So it's no harm in asking questions, and there are different platforms and modalities where we can put up a question. And this book tries to address it. And in fact, today at the end of the session also, we'll have a frequently asked questions session. We all will be taking a lot of questions on that. Speech contest tutorials, again, a priceless piece of information, because it actually tells us how to prepare for that one. The policy for the speech contest is basically a high-level policy statements on the speech contest. Now, that was classical Toastmasters contest. We still did not have the COVID coming in. Now, with this situation, we are in 2020 contest, online contest requirements. There was huge amount of, people are kind of grappling with things, how to go about this one, the contest for upcoming session. And so finally, TMI came up with this online speech contest best practices. This is a very short, crisp, I think 15-page document, if I'm not wrong. But it does contain all the basic things, not in very nitty-gritty details, but it does give us direction to do things which will help us in doing an online contest in a good possible way. To complement this, the PQD team in District 105, we are also trying to bring out a handbook kind of a thing, which will, with lots of scenarios built into this, like an FAQ, which will try to address literally all possible scenarios which may pop up during an online contest. So this is going to be exciting time ahead for us. Now, let's come back to our online contest requirements. Rules and standard procedures. Now, again, it goes without saying, the rules, fundamental rules, as said by the Toastmasters contest rule book, remains unchanged. Means the timing, the judging criteria, everything remains the same. But there will be few subtle changes, because now we are not doing it face-to-face. We'll be doing probably from our home, sitting in front of a device. So what does change for this? Now, online contest fundamentally stands on three three huge pillars. The first one, and the prime one, if I may use the word, is of course technology. Whether we like it or not, we are running this whole thing on something called a technological platform. I mean, what we are doing as of now is the same. What do we mean by technology? Essentially is a combination of a lot of things. It's not only about the internet, it's not only about your laptop or your mobile phone. It's a combination of all coming together in harmony, or if I may use, synergizing the entire chain of technology we have at our disposal to deliver a successful contest. They include the software. By software, we probably will mean the platform we are using. Today, we are using Zoom. Someone may be using MTeam or WebEx. So there are so many things coming up nowadays. The device, well, the laptop or a smartphone or a desktop computer, whatever we use, again, is part of the technology. The lighting is very important because that, especially for a contestant, my facial expressions, everything rides on the kind of illumination I'm having on my face and what is happening behind me. So it's very important we are smart enough to know how to lit ourselves when I'm facing a camera. Mic, again, there are different ways of technology, different range of technology available at our disposal nowadays. You can use a Bluetooth, you can use a wired one, or you can use a built-in microphone. So it's our call. But at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we do a good job while looking at it. Camera, of course, without that, we can't see each other. And of course, the backbone of the entire thing, the base of the pizza, the internet connection, because that fails, everything else goes away. So this is where we all need to now, accept and wake up to the reality that whatever you do is now highly technology dependent. And if required, we probably need to invest from our side a little bit to get ourselves into a position so that we have got the right technology, the most updated software, a reasonably good amount of hardware to deal with this. But then again, technology by its nature has a notorious habit of going wrong in the most awkward positions. We call it Murphy's Law or whatever it is. Things fail when they should not be failing. NASA has interrupted their satellite launches because of technical glitches when the countdown has started. So if it can happen to them, it can happen to literally anyone for us. So anyway, what can we do on this is we need to have backups for key roles and key resources. By key roles, I mean, there are certain roles which are, which runs or drives the whole process, like the timers, the judges, the chief judge maybe, or the contestants. So we need to have a backup plan. What shall we do when we lose them due to connectivity? So that's one. Number two, for devices, like should I depend on only one device, or I can have a multiple device as a backup, just as a backup. Even the device and the network, do I use Wi-Fi only, or I use a different kind of mobile network as well? And then plan the agenda with buffer for technical glitches. Why it is important? Well, nowadays, our agendas does not have any more coffee breaks, do they? But then we need to space out the agenda to accommodate something called possible technical glitches. So, just give some cushion in every block so that even if I have technical glitches, we still don't overrun the agenda. So moving ahead, we all accept that the connectivity is responsibility of the role player or the individual who's coming in. Now, if I have a contest in, say, Muscat or in Dubai, if I'm in Abu Dhabi, I'll make sure that I travel on time. If I'm going to stay there, I do the logistic, everything is properly taken care of. Similarly, if I'm going to an online platform, it is my responsibility I get connected on time and I remain connected during the entire duration of the contest. So do whatever we need to do so that I'm there in the contest digitally at least. Briefing for the contestant, role players and judges should be done at least 48 hours prior to the contest. This is something new. Why it is important is that we need time for absorbing the new things which will come into us. I mean, some of us are pretty good in technology. Honestly, some of us are not, including myself maybe. So in that case, we need some time to understand, okay, all those technical stuff, staying, use a background, click this button, click that button, all those things will come in. We need some time to absorb it. And if there's some clarifications required, we need time to do all those things and do a few practices. So that's why 48 hours is very important. We need to respect that. Probably it will make our life easier. And also multiple rehearsal will make our lives easier. And it's almost a must, because whatever amount of written preparation we do, unless we put it on the screen and try it out, we may not know exactly what's going on. And at the end of the day, integrity is the key. Means the online platform throws us a lot of challenges, which will test not only our technical skills, but our integrity as Toastmasters. And this is something we all have promised when we become Toastmasters. And integrity is one of the key values. And this is a time when we put it to test as Toastmasters. Now, the basic contest policy, this is more of a generic nature, nothing to do with Toastmasters, online stuff. The contest must originate at the club level and proceed to the area, division, and district levels respectively. It has been like this since probably we started off. The only contests following this progression are permitted in area, division, and district levels. All clubs are eligible to advance contests to the area level in all contests, regardless of the contest language, the primary language of the primary language of the club. So essentially, the language is not exactly an issue as long as there are contests arranged up the line. Now, eligibility, as I already have kind of said, to be eligible to compete in any official Toastmasters contest, the member must be a paid member of a club, division, and a district in which he or she is competing. So, I mean, it's a classical rule book requirement. The club must also be in good standing, and any dual or reinstated member must have dues and members' applications current in the world headquarters. What essentially we need to think here is that we need to be a member of a particular chain of structure, like a club, area, division, to be part of a contest. So I cannot be a member here and try contesting from a place where I don't belong to. That's basically the bottom line of this particular clause. Additional eligibility, as already described, 6 speech for international speech, we need to have at least a competent CC manual 6 projects, or level 1 and level 2 for any pathways in Toastmasters. Exceptions: a charter member of a club that is less than 1 year before the club contest is permitted to compete without having completed this requirement. This is to encourage new clubs to be contesting every contest. And this, take it from us as the district team, and I'm sure the division teams will support each and every new club to do a full contest of all the 4 contests in the coming year. Even if you are just 3 months old, 1 month old, even go for a full contest. This restriction, I mean, especially for the international contest, this requirement is waived off for those particular clubs. And it is really exciting for us to see a new club having a full-fledged contest in their club. And we are all there to support those kind of clubs which need. Now, there are people who are not eligible to contest. It's very simple. A member serving as a voting judge or a tie-breaking judge beyond the club level for a contest type in which the member is still competing or intends to compete. If I have competed in my club in table topics and I have won it, that means I'm going to compete in the area. I cannot go to another club or another area and judge in a table topic contest. That's basically the takeaway. District and international officers for 2021 and 2020-21, and district and international candidates for 21-22, educational presenters, contest chairs, role players. These are a set of people and judges. These are the people who are not eligible to contest in a speech contest. Toastmasters who are members in more than 1 club and who meet all the eligibility requirements are permitted to compete in a club contest in each club in which the paid membership is valid. So, but if I proceed, no contestant can compete in more than 1 area speech contest of a given type, even if the 2 areas are in different districts and or divisions or district. This is very important because sometimes we do go wrong here. if I'm a good speaker, I start coming out from all directions, and it may actually land me in a problem. Now, area contest, how many people will go from my club is extremely structured here. If my area has got 4 clubs or less, irrespective of whatever language they have, the top 2 winners will move to the area contest. But if the area has got 5 clubs or more, only the winner goes. Now, there's a catch here. If my area is having 4 clubs, and just 1 month before the area contest, we chartered another club. In that case, the criteria of 2 remains, means we may end up having 10 contestants in the area contest. But that's an exception depending on the timing of the chartering. So it's the cutoff is about 8 weeks. Speech, subject, and preparation is very important for a contestant. And we as contestants, we need to prepare our own speeches, which are substantially original, which goes without saying. Now, what we mean by originality is, I mean, well, we can use about 25% or less to quoting few things here and there of great people, great quotes, or dealing with other known stories. But any quoted or any quotations needs to be explicitly identified during the speech itself, like so-and-so said, or I'm as mentioned in some other place, something like it. We make it very clear. Now, the second point is something new that has come in this year's. The contestants must not reference another contestant or speech presented by another contestant from the platform at the same contest in which they are competing. Means I'm an international speech contestant. I'm speaking. I cannot refer to something which has been told just in the preceding speech or in one of the speeches which has come before me. It is not. It literally disqualifies me then and there itself. So this is a new rule that has come in this particular year. Okay, so this is a broad general outline of how the contest will flow. I mean, we deal with this organizing a contest. There are a lot of nitty-gritties of this whole requirement, both in the basic contest form as well as the online requirements. But as leaders, as a club president or a VPE or area director, how do we go about this? So we try to prepare a kind of a timeline to just make sure that we don't wake up late. So it's very important to recognize the fact that yes, we are going to have a contest down, say, 2 months. So how do we do that? So as they call it, T minus 8 weeks, means 8 weeks prior to your contest, we need to appoint an event chair. Event chair is like he's the boss. He's the CEO who runs the show or who will organize the show. So it can be the club president, VP, or area director or division director, him or herself, or they can delegate it to someone. But there need to be one single, entity who controls and organizes the whole thing. And it's very important. About 2 months before the event, we actually identify the key role players. What are we going to need? Like in an online contest, if you're going to have an online contest, say in December, you need to have a Zoom master, for example. It's a new requirement. Now find a Zoom master who can do the job for you. You may get, you may not get. So if you don't get, you have to find from somewhere else. So it needs a bit of time. So it's very important we do these things early. 8 weeks is about 2 months, reasonable enough. Then we move on to 6 months, 1.5 months to go. We need to meet. We need to meet and discuss exactly how things will roll out, what will be the requirements. By that time, we should be ready with the contest role players by name and assign them so that they can prepare themselves, because it needs enormous amount of preparation, especially for contest chairs or the chief judge who will be organizing their teams. Appoint judges. De facto, the chief judge is supposed to select his panel of judges. That's the ideal way of doing this. Again, this will be discussed tomorrow, so I won't go deep into that particular aspect. So 2 weeks down the line, when we have got another 4 weeks to go only, we need to have our agenda ready. We have to have our agenda ready for the contest with number of contestants, contest chairs, all defined, so that we are good to go and we know exactly how it's going to roll out, because we need to practice. Otherwise, you cannot start practicing with 2 to 3 days to go, because you don't have time to troubleshoot in that case. We need to send out invitations to the contest. Basically, we need to go to people saying that, guys, we are going to have a contest after 1 month, please be there. Because you cannot, contest is for a contestant, it's a forum, or it's something where they want to be seen. So it's important we have a good audience. People know that you are going to have a contest, and some contests are so amazing to be part of. The speakers really are different entity when they speak in a contest than we see in a normal club meeting. So it is very important we have enough audience. And how do they know? Unless we invite them to the contest. So now we have got social media and everything to invite people. So it's basically a click of a button. But again, people have got their own schedule, so that a timely invitation helps a lot. And we invite, and of course we announce that we have to make an announcement, make a flyer or whatever it is. So basically, timeline here is 4 weeks. Plus minus a couple of days is fine. Now 2 weeks prior to it, that is 15 days, planning meeting 2, that's basically the final planning meeting. You basically have done everything. Now it's showtime. Agenda is finalized, role players training starts, communication groups are set, means whatever instant messaging groups or like WhatsApp groups or Facebook groups you want to create, probably you can create it. The Zoom platform or whatever online platform we propose to use needs to be ready so that we can practice there. You cannot wait for a Zoom platform to practice till the last moment. You need to have it with you. You need to create breakout room. People need to get used to moving in and out of breakout room. So we need time for that. So 2 weeks is reasonably enough. And finally, with 2 days to go, final check. By 2 days, we should be ready to actually run the contest. Agenda dry runs means we actually literally do a kind of a mock run. We sit with the contestants, with the role players. We run through the real flow in real platform. Then the briefing takes place for the contestants and the judges, and we do a full rehearsal. So these are basic elements. We can be more creative on this one, add a few layers here and there, that is fine. But these are, the idea here is to give you an idea how we need the thing to look at while organizing for contest. And you see the timeline, the thing starts 8 weeks prior. So for us, if someone is planning to have a contest in December, the clock has started ticking by now. So that was my part of the story, contest management and basically the rules and the procedures. The next part is, we all know the contest needs people to run it. We call them contest role players. Now to take you through that part, I now hand it over the screen to my teammate, Toastmaster Shiny, to take over from here. And of course, we all will be there till the end, at the end of the session to take any questions you might be having. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abidul. I believe I'm audible and visible.
Yeah, you are. Proceed.
Good morning, District 105. First of all, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us here today on this bright and sunny Friday morning. The most precious commodity that we have is time, and you've chosen to spend a part of your day off with us on this virtual platform because we are all united with a common purpose. And that purpose stems from a need to deliver the best possible contest experience to our friends within this fraternity. The biggest homage we can pay our fellow Toastmasters who come forward with the courage and determination to showcase their carefully crafted speeches is to ensure that we set up a platform worthy of their talent so that they can perform in an exemplary manner. Our common objective today is to master the process for conducting all the 4 contests online on a successfully on an online platform. For all of you in the audience who think that this is too big a task, please be assured that we also believe the same when we set out on this mission. They say that the bigger the challenge, the bigger the opportunity to grow, and the greater the sense of accomplishment when you get to the end of it. We interacted with numerous district teams that have already traveled down this road. And at the end of all those brainstorming sessions, one thing was very clear to us. If you have the will to do it, you will certainly find a way to accomplish it. When a collection of brilliant minds, hearts, and talents come together, expect nothing less than a masterpiece. After all, we are all Toastmasters, and this is one platform where there is no shortage of both skilled people and volunteers. The only directive that we followed is an unrelentless pursuit of knowledge. We did not stop till we found the answers. So we're telling you now, do ask, and if you need help, we will do our best to make sure that you get what you're looking for. If you're not able to answer your questions, we will join you in the quest to find the right answers. Let's make this journey an enjoyable experience because, as Dr. Ralph C. Smedley said, we learn best in moments of enjoyment. I am here to provide you with some pointers on how to go about conducting the online speech contest. In a physical setting, organizing a contest is nothing short of pulling off the big fat Indian wedding. Nothing really changes in the online scenario. Whether you are a club president, area director, or division director, the first thing that you need to identify is to who is going to conduct your contest for you this year. For clubs, it could be your VP Educations. For areas and divisions, it could be your assistant directors for program quality. Once you've identified the wedding planner, as we like to call him, or the event chair, or the coordinator, or the host, he or she is the main go-to person on whose shoulder the entire contest rests. Ideally, the contest coordinator should be identified at least 6 to 8 weeks prior to your scheduled contest. The contest coordinator is in charge of running the contest successfully. The coordinator sets up the contest on an online platform. He is responsible for choosing suitable role players from the chief judge to the sergeant at arms. He rechecks contestants' availability and is in charge of confirming that all the parties involved are comfortable and proficient to an extent in the technology being used. The responsibility for ensuring that the contest is conducted in line with the rules and regulations set by Toastmasters International primarily remains the responsibility of the contest coordinator. For the purpose of functioning, please note that all parties involved in running a contest are divided into two main groups. The contest organizing team consists of the Zoom masters, the contest chairs, the contestants, the master of ceremonies, and the sergeant at arms. They report to the contest coordinator or the event host. Timers, tally counters, judges, they report to the chief judge. During the course of the contest, the point of contact is either the contest coordinator or the chief judge, depending on the role that you're going to perform. It is very important to share the details of contact, where be it telephone numbers or email addresses, with all the role players before the contest begins. You need to share the details and the contact numbers in which you can contact the contest coordinator and the chief judge easily with all of the role players. We begin planning on the assumption that technology will fail. So alternate methods of communication must be determined and all key players must be informed of the same. Please make allowances for internet or system failures, power breakdown, or whatever possibly can go wrong. We are conducting the contest online this year. So it is very important that the online speech contest statement is part of your meeting protocols. It is recommended that the sergeant at arms include the statement as a part of his presentation and the slide with the statement be displayed during relevant intervals of the contest. The statement includes legal disclaimers, and it is important that the participants and the audience be made aware that the contest is being recorded. Of course, that is if you are recording the contest. Also very important, all the contestants need to sign the video release form. This is an additional document that needs to be filled out this year, as most of our online contests are going to be recorded. Every single role player has a very significant part to play during contest time. When the contest is on an online platform, the role players have an additional responsibility to ensure that you rehearse well to avoid any last-minute glitches or technological failures. This contest here, we are at the mercy of technology. And it is our responsibility to ensure that we do not let our club, area, or division down due to ignorance or lack of practice. The Zoom masters are the foundation on which the entire contest is based. Their responsibility is to ensure that the Zoom account subscriptions are current. It can sustain the volume of the audience expected. They are required to create breakout rooms as and when required. They have to ensure that all contestants are well versed with the functions of Zoom and the contestant has the best possible representation while appearing on camera. The Zoom master, compare him to that master videographer who can give us tips to ensure that we look our best and we are perfectly visible and audible when delivering our masterpieces to the audience. The Zoom masters need not do it alone. It's best to work as a team of 2 to 3 people so that it doesn't get too hectic. The next role is of the master of ceremony. The master of ceremonies need to plan their segments, keeping in mind that they have enough fillers to cover those awkward pauses that seem to be so common during online meetings. They also need to have solid fallback plans in case we have any kind of technical glitches or failure. Basically, someone who can keep the audience engaged and busy while the organizers are busy behind the screen sorting out any of the issues that may arise. In the online scenario, the master of ceremony has an additional function. The master of ceremony needs to step in to cover the breach in case the contest chair loses connection with the meeting. The contest chairs. The contest chair's additional responsibilities during an online contest, including making sure that the contestants are perfectly visible and audible before they start presenting their speeches. If there is any problem in the audio or visual content, the contest chair has the opportunity to interrupt the proceedings and seek a resolution. Additionally, if a contestant loses connection midway during the contest, it's the contest chair who has the responsibility of reaching out to the contestant, getting an update on their situation, and helping them to reconnect with the meeting. The MC will cover the meeting when the contest chair is in the process of getting in touch with these contestants. Anyone who's been to a physical meeting knows that the smooth running of the contest often rests on the capabilities of a sergeant at arms. Their duties remain the same during an online contest. Audience is not allowed to enter the room while the participant is on stage. Instead of physically barring the door, the sergeant at arms monitors the waiting rooms and does not allow participants to enter during the time when the speaker is presenting. Also, the contestants need to be escorted in and out of the breakout rooms as and when necessary on the instructions of the contest chair. They need to be especially vigilant and on their toes while monitoring the contestants in the breakout rooms during the table topic and evaluation contests. The chief judge leads the team of judges, tally counters, and timers. In addition to the standard responsibilities, the chief judge has the task of setting up separate communication channels on alternate platforms: WhatsApp, email, Facebook Messenger, whatever works. And this platform he must establish a platform of communication with the judges, the timers, and the tally counters. The chief judge needs to collect the contact numbers of all the role players that he is leading before the meeting commences. In case of technical failures, the chief judge is the point of authority who decides on what is the best course of action to follow. Also, as we are on an online platform, the chief judge has to brief the judges to do whatever is necessary to maintain anonymity during the course of the contest. Change your screen names, remove your display picture, whatever it takes. Toastmasters International specifies that we use 2 timers during the online contest. The primary timer records the speech timing on the timing recording sheet and submits it to the chief judge at the end of the contest. The secondary timer also records the time, but the secondary timer records time to display the signaling device. It is very important that the timers rename themselves as timer 1 and timer 2, with timer 2 being the person operating the signaling device. The timers are not to appear on camera during the course of the contest, as this could be distracting for the contestant. Tally counters remain anonymous during the course of the contest. Their only communication is with the judges and the chief judge. Their responsibilities do not vary from the physical contest. They will communicate with the chief judge through the alternate platforms, be it WhatsApp or email, as decided before the beginning of the contest. Now we come to the most important people for whom we are doing all this, for whom we are taking all this pain and effort, the contestant. What should a contestant do to make sure he or she has a better edge during this contest season? As a contestant, it is your responsibility to ensure that you familiarize yourself with the technical aspects of the online platform well before the contest. Attend all the contest briefings. Make sure your audio and video testings are conducted in a timely manner and multiple times if necessary. A clear speaking area is a must. A point of interest here is that during an online contest, using a virtual background could impact the clarity of the video. A virtual background is considered as a prop. So if you're going to use any kind of virtual background, you need to inform the contest chair about it in advance. It is recommended that contestants set their speaking area in front of a blank wall rather than go in for a virtual background. I'm quoting the best practices from the online guide. Also, it is in the interest of the contestant, it is necessary to use 2 devices to sign into the contest. A primary device that should be renamed as per contest protocols, and a secondary device, preferably using a different network to connect to the internet. The sergeant at arms and contest coordinator needs to be informed about both the devices, and this is meant to be a safeguard against any kind of technical failures. If you're participating in the table topics or evaluation segment of the contest, please familiarize yourself with the whole concept of breakout rooms, moving to and from the breakout room, and the guidelines to be followed while you are present in the breakout room. Please ensure that you undergo rehearsals so that you're not in a point of stress during the contest. The evaluation contestants will be asked to prepare their notes on A4 paper, and the paper will have to be set aside and has to be clearly visible to the sergeant at arms manning the breakout room after they finish their preparation. Integrity remains the cornerstone of all our contests. However, contestants need to ensure that they are completely visible and audible while they are in the breakout rooms. If they move out from the frame of the cameras or their audios are switched off during the time when they are in the breakout rooms, they run the risk of disqualification. At Toastmasters, we have a well-established method of dealing with protests. Only voting judges and contestants are allowed to protest, and protests should be limited to eligibility, originality of speech content, and referencing another contestant's speech. The protest should be lodged with either the chief judge or the contest chair before the announcement of the results. And the contestant must be given a chance to respond prior to being disqualified. Toastmasters International is conducting its contest on online platform this year. So invariably, the success of the contest depends on variables that are not in our control: the internet, the health of our devices, etc. There is a degree of uncertainty, but to a large extent, we've achieved mastery over most of these circumstances. The contestant is primarily responsible for ensuring that they have a strong network connection. It is our recommendation that all the contestants and key players sign into the meeting with 2 devices, preferably using 2 different networks, one Wi-Fi and one mobile network. The sergeant at arms and contest coordinators need to be informed when you're using multiple connections to connect to the meeting. In case of technical disruptions or failures, It is the contest chair and the chief judge who takes the call on whether the contestant can continue in the contest or not. It is important to be well prepared to deal with contingency issues, so we recommend that you conduct multiple rehearsals and practice sessions for your role players. Ideally, the contest briefing should be concluded at least 48 hours prior to the contest. Please do not leave your briefings for the 11th hour and ensure that you're well prepared on the day of the contest. To conclude, every contestant that hopes to leave a mark on District 105 during the 2020-2021 contest season needs to include 3 major bestsellers in their reading schedule. The first one is item 1171, also called the Speech Contest Rulebook for the year 2020-2021. It is 28 pages long. The second one is item 479. It is titled the Online Speech Contest Best Practices 2020-2021. It is 10 pages long. The third one is called the Contest Management Handbook for District 105. And again, it is 27 pages long. The first 2 books are available in the Toastmasters International Library. All the participants of today's session will find the free copy of these books in their email inboxes. The third book will be available to you by the end of this week once our Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Gurbinder Pan, runs his eagle eye over it. Let me warn you in advance, there are very good chances that you'll fall asleep while reading these masterpieces that have been put together with so much of effort. I speak from experience. On behalf of the program quality team, it's my humble request to all contestants and contest officials. Please do not give up on these books. Persevere till you are able to read these books from cover to cover. It'll definitely be worth your effort, and I promise you that a lot of your questions will be answered. There is a quote by Dr. Joe Dispenza that means something like this. In the age of information, ignorance is a choice. Please do not make the choice to remain ignorant. Online contests are tough, but it gives us an opportunity to connect with a larger audience as opposed to a physical contest. Nothing that is worthwhile is ever easy, and the key to success is effort. The greater the effort, the better the chances of success. I'm sure all of you have a lot of questions, and we have our resident experts from the Program Quality Directors team here to answer all your questions in doubt. The floor is now open to you. And DTM Chetlur Prasad will be taking questions. But before that, I think it's time we go in for a short break. Zoom Master?
Thank you, Shiny. Thank you very much. You may please stop sharing your screen. Thank you, Toastmaster Abidul and Toastmaster Shiny, for taking us through the lovely sessions. A lot of information we got. Before we go on to the bio break, let me take a couple of minutes to make a few announcements here. The first announcement is that as both the facilitators told you that the work that we are doing right now with you, we started working on it almost 2 months ago. And a lot of work was done interacting with the other districts and other area leaders, division leaders. We requested them for their feedback. Mock contests was done. So this is not just the output of 1 person or 2 person. This is an output from, I would say, hundreds of people that we are able to see in this crisp presentation today. So my thanks to all of them for doing that beautiful job, helping us out for wherever we are. The question answer session will come up soon. And before that, I wanted to just acknowledge one person especially. I wanted to see if DTM Alifia from District 20 is there. I'm not able to see if she's there. DTM Alifia, if you are there, could you please put it in the chat?
What is the name, sir?
Alifia, Alifia.
No, sir, she's not there.
She's not there. Okay, maybe she will join in a little while. And once she joins, I'll ask her to speak for a couple of minutes. So we want to thank her formally that a lot of work she has done with us in the last 2 months to help us learn the things, how it is being done in other districts. We'll come back to her. So let's take a 5-minute bio break. In the meanwhile, keep putting your question in the chat box. When we come back from the break, we will start to look at your questions and answer them one by one. Uh, Zoom Master, Mr. Timer, could you please monitor the
5 minutes.
timing for
5
the next
minutes.
5 minutes? Thank you very
5
much.
minutes.
5 minutes. We can switch off the cameras. We can keep the cameras on anyway. If anybody wants to talk or discuss anything, it's okay, except for the question answers. Thank you. Zoom Master, you may please switch off all the cameras and only keep the facilitator 1, 2, 3 and my cameras on.
Shall we start?
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are back after the short bio break, and we can see questions coming up in the chat box. We will request the chat moderator, Toastmaster Ramaswamy, to read out the questions. They will be answered by TTM Chetlur first, and then wherever required, he might ask anybody else to join in as well. Start, please.
Yes, sir.
Please unmute
Yeah.
DTM Chetlur.
Sorry. So can we start?
Yeah, please.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. The first question from the chat moderating. For evaluation and table topics, will it be in order to move the contestants to the breakout room and asking them to keep their microphone and camera on to ensure they are not connected to the event using another device? I repeat, for evaluation and table topics, will it be in order to move the contestants to the breakout room and asking them to keep their microphone and camera on to ensure they are not connected to the event using another device?
Okay, this is, I'll give out a slightly longish answer for this because there's a couple of things which one needs to know when we have to take care of this. Firstly, let's go to the evaluation contest. Now, once the recommended practice that we have found is that once the test speaker has delivered the speech, the contestants get moved to the breakout rooms. Now, as Toastmaster Shiny earlier was mentioning, as if you're a contestant and if you want to connect from two devices, it is very important and critical that you declare that you're connecting from both the devices. After that, when you move to the breakout room with both the devices, you will get moved. And so the sergeant at arms or the Zoom masters, they will exactly know how many devices are there, and they have to be kept on. And basically, the contestant has to stay away from all these electronic devices and everything, so that he is very clearly visible to the sergeant at arms team. So this is the answer on the evaluation contest side. On the table topic side, we don't have that requirement of 5 minutes to write the notes as we have in an evaluation contest, but the other part of it will remain constant, where the contestant will stay away from devices and sit in such a manner that the sergeant at arms can see the contestants very clearly. I hope this has answered the question. Anybody else wants to add something? Most welcome. So the next question, please.
The question number 2 is, what should be the criteria for choosing contest organizer? What should be the criteria for choosing the contest organizer?
Actually, it's very honestly, it's a very good question because I would rather recommend as practically possible the most experienced person who understands, who has gone through the processes of managing contests or are involved in arranging contests in the past, or at least a senior Toastmaster, as practically as possible. Else, you can always reach out to somebody who is knowledgeable, or you can reach out to the PQD team, will help you out as to how to conduct the contest. But yes, a very senior Toastmaster who understands contests and whoever is the event organizer, my very sincere request is he should be fully aware of the speech contest rule book and the PQD documents. That is very important. Any other point somebody wants to add? The next question, please.
This question is, when a contestant for table topic contest log in from two devices, how do you make sure he or she doesn't hear the previous speaker? I repeat. Want me to repeat?
Yes. No, no, I
When
understood. If I just want to paraphrase this question. If I have a technical question, see, once I move into the breakout room, there is no way that I can. Both the devices are moved. Then there is no reason that there's no chance that I'll be in the main room, so I cannot hear. This is point number one. Point number two is if at all there is a table topic contestant who has connected through two devices, but he has not declared one of them, the Zoom master has to take that into account and probably remove the second device from the contest, or at the request of the contester or some or report or chief judge or whatever is the process that they define. But at any point of time, both if there are two devices, both the devices have to be notified to the contest chair and to the Zoom master. That is important. If it is not, then there will be the person will risk the that the second device may be removed from the contest or from the breakout room or whatever is that. So contestants are please requested to kindly take note of this.
Jitin Chettur, if I may add on this.
Yeah. The next question. Please add,
yeah,
sir.
Toastmaster.
Okay, now the basic requirement for every device inside the breakout room, the camera needs to be on. So that now if I'm a contestant and I'm logged in two devices, the sergeant at arms should see the contestant in both the devices. So that is one controlling mechanism we will have to ensure that these devices are moved into the breakout room and they belong to the same contestant we are talking about.
Okay. Again, the key point here is that two devices, if they are there, then they have to be notified. And the second point here is that both the devices, the sergeant should be able to clearly see them. So these are the two requirements which, as a contest organizer and a contestant, we need to keep in mind.
Okay.
Next question, please.
Next question is there a form available for taking signature for video release which we can use? Is there a form available for taking signature for video release which we can use?
Yes, the form is available on TMI website.
Okay, I hope. For the next question, again, the table topics and evaluation questions are getting more. For table topics and yes, sir.
Questions on table topics and evaluations are the most expected simply because we have not had the experience last
conducted before. Yeah,
so
right.
Please go ahead.
For table topics and evaluation, how can we ensure the contestants are connected only from one devices before we move to the breakout room? So the Zoom master that you answered it, the Zoom master has to ensure that.
Yes. So I think this question is answered earlier. So as I've just a couple of minutes ago. So I think we can move on to the next question.
If a contestant's network failed, will he or she be given with second chance?
Yeah, this is something which it depends on what is the contest and at what timing and things like that. Whenever there is a disruption, there are some recommended practices which will come as part of district contest handbook series. It will be available. You can have a look at them. You can go through them. But again, as it was earlier mentioned in the presentation, it is the responsibility. At the end of the day, the chief judge will decide. Depending on the circumstance and depending on the timing of the interruption, because not only the interruption, the timing of the interruption also is a very critical factor. Based on that, the chief judge will decide the next course of action in the interest that the contest is smoothly conducted. But yes, there should be prima facie, there should be some leverage given to technical challenges if contestants are facing. And plus, on the other side, if the timer is facing some technical challenges, then there is an additional 30 seconds that is provided to the given to the contestant if the timing devices are faltering due to some technical issues. So that is already available. It is there in the best practices book already mentioned. So that is one side of it. The other side of it is what I have said. It's the decision taken by the chief judge.
There are more than a questions. Couple of suggestions are also coming. How do we create a breakout rooms? If you don't mind, please send us the steps required to do so. or arranging a trainer, the technical session on
Yeah, this suggestion
breakout
to
rooms.
have.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
one of the suggestions which we are actually thinking is to conduct a technical session of how to manage the Zoom master's role itself, and which includes the breakout area. We will think about it and we will revert.
Okay, sir. Can the contest organizer and the Zoom master can be the same person?
Again, a nice question. It's a very practical question because some clubs at a club level, depending on the number of volunteers available and the circumstances, there may be a possibility that you can have one person doing it. The ideal recommendation is these two should be two different people handling these roles, because both of them are very critical role. Especially the Zoom master role is a very critical role because the entire contest depends upon the smooth functioning of the Zoom master, the platform itself, which the Zoom master manages. So that is the fundamental recommendation, that to have these two roles separate and two people managing it.
Since the questions are coming more, how they are going to contact us if there is any questions which we could not able to answer here? What are the points that you wanted to convey to them, sir?
I didn't understand.
Suppose if you are not able to cover all the questions, how they are going to contact us? Any email IDs or any such?
Yeah, there is this PQD team ID, which we will share. It will be part of the contest management document. There is a contest helpline that we have provided the email address. People can definitely reach to PQD team on that email address.
Okay, sir. Thank you. The next question: for the seamless speech delivery, both the primary device and secondary device be streaming, broadcasting the speech simultaneously. This is like asking a question on the broadcasting thing, referencing another speaker. This is like both the primary device and the secondary device be streaming means broadcasting the speech simultaneously. This is actually a technical question that he or she asked. How do we answer, sir?
Yeah, Shalini, go ahead.
Technically, we wouldn't recommend that both the devices be used simultaneously. Use the primary device to stream the speech. The secondary device is a backup only, because otherwise it makes it difficult for the judges as well. We don't want two different angles of the same speaker. One device is more than enough. The secondary device can act as a backup.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for stepping in, because I had a short internet intermission. So some internet challenge at my house Wi-Fi. So thank you for stepping in.
The next question is:
so DTM Chatlur, your technology is your responsibility.
Exactly, sir. Very well said. Thank you. And it has been demonstrated as well. Sir, I just saw Alifia, Madam Alifia.
Yes.
Would you like to interrupt?
Yeah.
Yeah, please, sir.
All right. So let me take this moment here. As I was mentioning that we were very helpful. We were helped by other districts from within the region and outside the region. And one of the leaders from within our region 11 who helped us out was DTM Alifia. DTM Alifia, could you please come on camera? Hi. Welcome, DTM Alifia. DTM Alifia is Program Quality Director for District 20. She is based in Kuwait. And although she's a certified physiotherapist, but she's a fabulous trainer and speaker. And she helped us a lot in our question answers. And may I request DTM Alifia to give us a couple of minutes of her insights into preparation for the contest. How does it help?
Thank you, DTM Gurbinder, District 105 PQD, and other dignitaries here, and the members of District 105. Thank you. It's definitely an honor for me to be here present today. It's a very sweet gesture by DTM Gurbinder to invite me to recognize here my efforts for the contest preparation. Well, members, just to understand that contest is that time of the year where we just put our skills in practice, what we have learned in Toastmasters. And going virtual this year is no different than a physical contest. Just two things I would like to tell the contestants out there is that internet stability is your sole responsibility. As in a physical contest, you have to reach the contest on time, ensure that you have arrived the contest and made the other preparations. So similarly, contest preparation wise, stability of the internet, the connection, your standard speaking area, pinning of the timer is completely your responsibility. Yes, the district is definitely here to facilitate, support you in this quest. So please do participate wholeheartedly. Another thing, contestants need to understand that as district leaders, we are here to support them and encourage them in whatever way they like the contest to go ahead. But we need that participation equally from the contestants. As I was reading few of the contest questions here, I am happy to see that members have so many questions regarding the contest. What can be done in the breakout room? So I will just take that one question. How can we ensure that table topics contestants or the evaluation contestants are safe in the breakout room? Well, there will be a team of sergeant in arms which will be going in the breakout room with the contestants. I think the facilitators must have just covered that, but I'm just highlighting it again, where we will be requesting the contestant to sit with their hands up and rotate their camera 360 degree to ensure that nobody is prompting them and they are alone in that time which they are in the breakout room. So there are many ways where we can ensure that the contest integrity and the seamlessness of the contest is maintained throughout. I think District 105 has great planning. The facilitators, I had a meeting with the facilitators, all are well-versed, all are veteran Toastmasters. They are putting the experience in use here. So good luck, members. Contest is just fun and virtual is more easy because it is from the comfort of your home. So good luck, be excited about it, do participate. Thank you, DTM Gurbinder.
Thank you, DTM Alifia, and thank you very much to you and your team for helping us out with our preparation for these sessions. We really, really appreciate, and thank you once again. Thank you. All right, let's get back to our question answer sessions, and let's bring the facilitators back.
Shitlur, sir? Yeah.
I'm bringing them back one by one. Okay. Shitlur, sir.
Yeah. I have to unmute yourself. I unmute. Okay, sir. Now, again, the suggestions are coming. It will be prudent for the Zoom masters to go through the training material on Zoom platform to familiarize themselves with the futures, especially the breakout rooms.
Yeah, that's more like a suggestion, right?
Yeah, it's a suggestion.
Yeah, so we can go to the questions. The suggestion is taken, so we can go to the question.
Is it mandatory to have club contest virtually as per TMI? Area and division contest is understandable.
Yeah, this as of now, the rule book is silent on how if the club contest have to be virtual or not. You can have a physical contest if it is permitted, and given the circumstances, given today's circumstances, if I may say so. However, you should, if the club decides to have the contest in a normal, traditional manner, then they will have to make provision for online visibility also. So the contest should be online, and they should allow other people to be to view the contest. So that is the guideline, because there's no other guideline specifically on the club.
I think if I might add there, the club contest, if you do a physical contest, you have to allow for online participation also.
Yes.
And since that might become like a hybrid contest, so from a district side, it is a recommendation that you should do online contest. However, the choice stays with the club.
There is one more suggestion. Maybe a demo contest organized by PQD team and recorded versions to upload in YouTube. This can help out club benchmarking and identifying how roles are managed.
Okay, it's a good suggestion. We can take it.
Okay, sir. Again, a question. When returning from breakout room, is the option available? Is the option is only leave meeting? Is it fine to leave and reconnect the contest once again? When returning from the breakout room, if the option is only leave meeting, is it fine to leave the meeting and reconnect the contest once again? The question.
Normally in a breakout room, in this scenario, you're given the option of joining back to the main room. And you, as per the briefing, I think if it is an evaluation or a table topic contest, then if you are in a breakout room, normally during the briefing, it should be said that the contestants will be moved from the main room to the back breakout room and back again as the contest progresses and as per the contest chair's details. But that is how it is to be done. But I don't foresee a scenario where it's only a leave room. If that is there, probably that is the only option available.
And if I might add, exactly what Madam Shaini had mentioned, 48 hours prior to the contest, the contestants' briefing should be done and rehearsals should be done. How to leave the room and how not to leave the meeting itself. So that is where the 48-hour period becomes useful. Each of the contestant and the contest chair and sergeant at arms plays the scenarios in rehearsals for first 2 days, one or twice, so that each contestant is familiar with what button to use. Because at times there is a little confusion about leaving the breakout room and leaving the meeting. And once you leave the meeting, the chief judge may actually disqualify you because you have left the meeting itself. And we don't know what information you would have got in the period that you have left the meeting. And that's where 48 hours and the rehearsals become very, very critical. Thank you.
Again, a question related to the table topics. What about table topics? Somebody can easily communicate to contest in breakout rooms through WhatsApp on same device.
I think we've addressed this question, though not directly, but in the way that the sergeant at arms monitors the contestants. In that manner, we have addressed this question earlier. But again, since the question is asked, during the briefing, the contestants, that's why, again, I go back to the same thing, that 48 hours briefing is very critical and important. The contestants have to be told what is allowed and what is not allowed, A. And B is that also the practice of being in the breakout rooms and coming back into the main room should be there. And also the sergeant at arms should be very clearly monitoring the movements so that the contestants stay within the ambit of the guidelines that have been prescribed at the time of briefing. Else the contestants would risk disqualification. So let's all ensure that we follow the framework and guidelines that has been specified, and the monitoring systems are the way to ensure that we stay within the guidelines.
Questions again related to table topics and evaluation. What are the things that you would include under props for electronic device? Does it include OBS? I don't know what is OBS.
Sorry, what is OBS? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
anyway.
Another question on the same person. If there is a delay. Yes, sir,
let's answer the prop question, then we'll go.
Yeah. What are the things that you would include under props for electronic device?
What we are thinking in the PQD is that props, as long as like what we do in a traditional contest, is the best way to do it. Because if you use any kind of a prop on a virtual background, there's a chance that it will distort the image and the video. and probably some of the gestures may not be clear to the judge this can hinder the performance of the contestant. So probably it's a good idea. The recommendation is to use a normal prop like we use in a traditional contest.
So we are getting some chat responses saying OBS is a video enhancing software. It can be a very creative prop.
Yeah.
Open Broadcasting Studio. I'm sorry, I don't have an answer to that. I recommend that you should write to TMI and ask that, because it is not given in the rule books and none of us has ever heard that word before. It would not be fair on our part to give an answer to that. Thank you.
Okay.
If there is again same person, if there is a delay for the table topics and evaluation contest in joining it from the breakout room, how much time would you wait for?
Please wait for a few days. We are releasing guidelines on that. There is a detailed Excel sheet coming out indicating all the timelines, which says that how much time the chief judge can wait before he takes a call to continue the contestant or to move him at the last of the speaker audience series or disqualify him. So there is a whole matrix which has been developed. We will share that with you. Thank you.
The next question, how to identify that the speakers are not delivering a recorded speech of their own? How to identify that the speakers are not delivering a recorded speech of their own?
I don't know how to do that.
And
Anybody expert on that, please answer that.
The contester has to, the speaker has to reply to the contester's queue before they go online. And you can't, the contestant is normally not allowed to share screen or anything. So a recorded speech will be quite difficult to pull out on an online platform. Maybe Toastmaster Ramaswamy can give us some insight on that.
Can be easily identifiable.
My one-line submission here to everybody who's asking these questions is that when Abidul was running his slides, one of the slides he talked about the online contest basics. And one statement in that was integrity is the key.
Correct.
Now, we cannot be in your room, we cannot be in your house, we don't know what you are doing, what you are. So integrity is everybody's value system. I can give you answers to maybe some scenarios, but to not every possible scenarios. And so I think we are all people of values. We have integrity as one of our core values, and we will follow it and not do things which can jeopardize our own value systems. And we don't want that. We want fair and happy, enjoyable contests. But if you choose to do something like that, my respect for you will go away. All I can say is that. Thank you very much.
The next question from the same person. What is the exact role of the tally counter? Is that they are only one who receive the marking judges?
The role of tally counter does not change from a traditional role. They will continue to do the same thing. The judges will send their ballot papers to tally counters. Tally counters will tally it and give it to chief judge. The process is different, which will be discussed tomorrow in the judges training program.
How can the ballots collect results from the judges and hand over back to the chief judge?
Tomorrow's content. Today out of course.
How to ensure that table topic is not compromised during the contestant is in the breakout room? How to ensure
question is not clear.
How to ensure that table topics is not compromised during the contestant is in the breakout room? Okay, sir.
I cannot answer that. Compromised means.
Compromise means it is conveyed to the contestant. Like we have already covered this, I believe, when DTM Chitlur has covered this part.
Yeah, this question is already answered earlier.
Okay,
so
again a question related to the timing, so that we will release the timing manual next time. That in a couple of days' time, sir.
What is the question? What is the question about the timing?
How much time would you say we would allow for the contestant join from the breakout rooms to the main room? That was the one earlier. Also, we answered that. If there is a technical failure.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. The question, is the District 105 coming out with clear rules to what should be done in case of technical disruption at the contestants during the speech, or the chief judge has to use his or her discretion?
I would rather say that the clear guidelines and they're basically recommendations from the District 105, because at the end of the day, all of us have to adhere to what is mentioned in the speech rulebook and the best practices 2021 Toastmasters, the online contest. We will give some recommendations in order to bring in certain level of uniformity in the way technical challenges are managed across the district. And that is what is the intention of this document that we're going to release. It can be adopted, and then ultimately, as we have said earlier, it will be the decision of the chief judge on that day of the contest, depending on the technical challenge that has happened at that moment and what course of action he would suggest. That would be the ultimate thing.
How do we ensure both the timers record the same timing? Synchronize. In a contest, a difference of couple of seconds could have big impact on the results.
Now again, yeah. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
You go ahead.
Okay. Now again, for this point, I go back to that the planning slide which we had, which starts about 8 weeks prior to the contest and everything, and we have a lot of rehearsal is required. This is the truth of it. A lot of rehearsal is required to ensure that both the timers are in sync. They have to communicate. They should have a very agile communication, and they have to communicate consistently, constantly, and right through the contest period. It's not just the role that I will play. This communication is also equally important. And when they practice together, and then they may have some kind of a method to connect to each other, and then that way I have seen in the past two timer signals can be synced. So it's about practice, basically. Next question, please.
Yeah. I'm just checking, reading it, whether anything is repeating. Can contestant read speech on screen and deliver?
Now, I would rather go back to start with what DTM Gurbinderji earlier said. Integrity is the key, the way the contestants manage. To a large extent, yes, the contest handbook and other details, we have understood certain scenarios and probably given some recommendation on scenarios, but we cannot, as you said very clearly earlier, we cannot cover all of them. If the contestant is kind of reading from the speech and things like that, I think the people who are there as judges and chief judge are clear about the guidelines. The briefings are very mentioned very clearly, and I think they will take a decision on the day of the contest as to what actually has happened. Yeah, so that is the main thing. So we are here to have a good contest. We are here to enjoy a contest, and we're here to do it in line with Toastmaster values. And of course, yes, integrity is the key. Next, anybody wants to share?
Yeah. One more thing, like normally when we see a contest on a screen also, I mean, as we have seen a lot of on-screen speeches, we actually can make out if someone is actually reading from the screen, even if you're seeing on screen. So in a normal physical contest, if the contestant is reading from a paper, I mean, it's not allowed as such. So judging will accordingly go. I mean, we follow the TMI rule book. What can be done and what cannot be done, it stays there. Now, if we can figure out that someone is reading from the screen, the whole process will take course accordingly.
Yeah, Abidul, if I might step in, it's not that it is not allowed, but it is not expected. There is no disqualification for in a speech contest to read a speech, but then the judges will have to be diligent enough to rate the contestant accordingly. I mean, if I'm a contestant, I would not read a speech. Well, at that. I have, just for everybody's understanding, I have posted a email ID in the chat. I request each one of you to please take it. And that is the ID of the PQD team. It's called teampqdcoms@gmail.com. And after today's session, if you would have any more queries or any help you would need, please write to us on that email ID, and we will be happy to come back to you with your solutions. Yeah, DTM Don, thank you for.
There is a question on integrity. What is the integrity of the speaker? What do you mean by that?
What do I answer this? Because it's a personal value that I have as a Toastmaster or as a human being. The integrity is in terms of following and abiding and adhering to the rules and regulations specified for a contest, and then going according to them, understanding the briefing and participating in the right spirit and the right manner that Toastmasters International advocates to all of us. I think that is staying in integrity. And I think all of us know this very well. We are Toastmasters, and we will continue to deliver our speeches in complete integrity.
Well, it's a very interesting concept. Integrity is being true to myself. Integrity is being whole and complete. Integrity is honesty. Uh, so if in the judge's briefing or the contestant briefing, the contest chair informed that as a table topic master, in the breakout room, you have to do X, Y, Z things, and you don't follow that, and you try to cheat that contest chair's briefings, then you are out of integrity. So integrity is following the rules in a contest. That's integrity.
Right. I think we almost covered all the questions. I think the frequency FAQ will be shared with all. Will we have this FAQ shared with all? I think
yeah. So I think what we can do is, if you give me 30 seconds, I can put up a form here, and you can put up your email IDs in that form, where you can all enter your name and the email ID, and we will share this today's session's documents, whatever we have mentioned for you in that form. So just give me 30 seconds. It's coming up now for you.
okay. There is a question that will this session be put directly on the YouTube? Yeah, there is a YouTube link is already available. You can subscribe this recorded versions.
Okay, so I am putting up a link in the chat box here.
Yeah.
If I request all the 122 people who are attending the session now, if you could click this form and fill in just your email ID and your name, we will send you the FAQ list and the documents to you. They will also be sent to the district area directors and district division directors for circulation. We will try to circulate as much as possible. We will also try to put it up on District 105 website. But if you would like to get a copy by email, please help us to fill up this form right now. Take 2 minutes. It's just an email address and a name, nothing else.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you, everybody. Let's
Thank you,
close this question answer session. My thanks to all the facilitators today. You've done a great job, and I'm sure that the District 105 members and leaders who joined today's training will benefit from this, and they will be able to run contests much more smoothly. As I said earlier, if you have any more questions, please feel free to write to us on the email address provided in the chat box, teampqdcoms, and we will be happy to revert back to you with solutions. With that, I thank all the district leaders who have joined me on this call, CDD Rania, Deepa Godwani, Deepa Surendran, all the division directors and everybody else. Please do join us tomorrow again at 10 a.m. for judges and chief judges training, and we will have good fun tomorrow once over again. Thank you very much. We close this session now. We will keep the chat window and the screens open for a little more time. If you would like to talk to us or gossip anything or share a joke or something, We can unmute the mics and the cameras now, Zoom masters. Thank you very much to Toastmaster Raminder Singh and Toastmaster Ramaswamy Jignesh for making today's Zoom session comfortable. Thank you very much. Officially, the meeting is closed.
Thank you.
Done, sir. Stop the recording versions and
Stop the recording, stop the
yeah,
YouTube.
all